Moon Podcast Escalation! Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan D. White.
My name is Chris Sims, and this is Sailor Business. It's the podcast where we sit down with a friend and watch an episode of the classic 1990s Sailor Moon anime and talk about why it is that we love it so much. And it is the final season. What secrets will be revealed? Who will survive? What will be left of them?
I mean, a lot of all of them.
I don't know, Jordan. I think I think your time might be coming to an end, my man.
Oh, no.
Shh, I don't mean it. It's just for the drama. Just for the drama. We gotta get those ratings.
Oh, wait.
But yes,
hold on. Wait,
is,
you meant of Sailor Business? I thought you meant of Sailor Moon.
No, I meant of Sailor Business.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it's the final season of the Sailor Moon anime. We are watching the first episode of Sailor Stars, a whole new show.
It's a whole new show.
Takes place 1 week after the last episode that we watched.
Unclear.
And it's also the final season of Sailor Business.
Is that... Wow. Okay. Drama, I guess, right? Drama. Yes.
Yeah, it's not the final season of Sailor Business.
Yeah.
Or is it? Anyway, to help this out, we have a all-star roster of guests coming up for this season. I am very excited because we've got old favorites. We've got people that I've been wanting to have on the show for a really long time. This week's guest is one of the latter. Audrey Paws here. Audrey, hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm fantastic.
You are someone I've been wanting to get on the show for... do you know when I first emailed you? It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely while I was like in undergrad, and I was like, I cannot have the time for this.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, I'm free. I'm free from that prison now.
And now it's just all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I became aware of you over the bad website, Twitter.
Yes.
But you are one of the good things on the bad website.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
You have an account. Is it still Sailor Moon Subs?
Yes. Yeah. At Sailor Moon Sub. It's if you see the cat puppet with a single rhinestone tear, you're in the right place.
Jordan doesn't think he's gonna like the cat puppet. I know that Jordan's gonna love the cat puppet.
You think so?
Absolutely.
You have to. You absolutely have to. You have no choice.
You love cats, Jordan?
Well, yeah, I like real cats.
Yeah. What's more real than a puppet?
Really?
Although, I mean, I guess to be fair, Luna's not a real cat normally.
No, Luna is no more or less real.
That's very true. That's true.
She's real in my heart. So we'll see if the puppet can touch that.
Oh, I can't wait.
So Audrey, what is your history with Sailor Moon?
It's a long and storied journey. So back in like 2014, I like my sister was like, you should watch Sailor Moon, and like, you know, Crystal was just coming out, so like, you know, there was a big Sailor Moon hype again. So I was like, you know what, I'm finally gonna do it. I'm finally gonna commit to this 200 episode anime plus 3 movies. But I was like, if I watch it, I can't watch it alone because like that's just boring. I need like to have other people to experience it with me. I'm gonna, you know, torture everybody else with my opinions about what's going on.
I should start a podcast with Jordan D. White. No, wait, hang on. That's someone else's origin.
We have like this parallel path, right? So I decided to start a Twitter account where I just document like what I think about it and like how it's going. And I guess people like it because there's still people following.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it quite a bit, and I especially like you have a Tumblr as well,
yes.
Where you are often posting very good things. You've done. People will ask you to give your top 10 like Mamoru Chiba outfits, your top 10 monsters of the week. Yes. I know that you are also a fan of the sexy lady shoe.
I am. She's the best.
So what did you know about Sailor Moon before you went in? Like, how aware of it were you?
Yeah, I was like a lot of my friends had watched it on like Cartoon Network or something when it was airing, but I had never seen it. Like I was a PBS kid, you know. So yeah, I was just aware of it as like a cultural concept, like, oh cool, like girls who fight crime at night in the city. And that ended up not being what it was at all. It was a lot more ridiculous, a lot more like magical realism than I ever anticipated. But I'm in too deep now, you know? I got like so sucked in and it's like it's now like a lifestyle. But yeah, I didn't know barely anything about it.
Wow.
And so you did like it, or was there like a slow process of getting to like it, or did it
Yeah,
happen
okay.
more or less immediately?
It was pretty slow for me. Like, I was watching season 1 and I was watching them all pretty quickly, you know, at least like a couple a week. And it just was it was very formulaic at the beginning. I was like, all right, I see what's going on. And then like it had the season 1 finale where all of them die. There's no punches pulled and they just straight up die. And I was like, oh no, like this has emotional stakes in it now. Like, you know, so that was the one that made me like kind of ride or die for Sailor Moon. At first I was just like, I'm just doing it to complete it. But now I'm like, nope, my heart's inside it.
Yeah.
I can't pull it out.
Yeah, I don't know if you go into Sailor Moon as a person who is going to like it even a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see how you could get through that. The deaths and crucifixions of all the Sailor
Right?
Scouts and not come away like,
They don't get crucified.
they kind of do.
You're thinking of Xena.
No, Xena gets like for real crucified. The Sailor Scouts get like put on that
Yeah.
weird tree.
They're metaphorically crucified.
Yeah. There's crucifixion imagery for sure.
Yep.
So you have now watched, I know you've watched all of the anime.
Yes.
And you've also watched all of Pretty Guardian, the 2003 live action show.
It's my favorite thing on this green earth.
You think it's better than the anime?
I do. Others may disagree, but I love that puppet. It's not just a puppet, but
Well, that has given like I know a little bit about Pretty Guardian. I've watched like a couple episodes here and there, but honestly, a lot of what I know of it comes from your Tumblr and your Twitter. And I know that you're an Usagi-Ami shipper on that show.
Yes,
which is not a pairing that I would have thought of.
I could never have predicted myself, and then suddenly there I was, spearheading this
Wow.
OTP that nobody ever knew.
Can you explain it to me?
in Pretty Guy and Sailor Moon, I just like Ami gets like such a character revamp. Like she's not like just a genius girl. She also has like, you know, this like major like inferiority complex, and she's like, I don't actually want to be Sailor Mercury, like, you know. So like at first at the beginning. So I feel like that's what makes her so much more compelling. And then like she needs so much love, and then Usagi has so much love to give, and I was like, what? They're in love now. So you all will be revealed when you start watching Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon.
My goodness. Okay.
It's
and also I believe the name Tuxedo Ami came up.
Yes, yeah. That's definitely like I don't remember when it started, but just the idea that like, you know, what if Ami had been a week and does Tuxedo Mask instead of Mamoru? And I really like that idea because it means that Ami gets to run around in a little tuxedo and like throw roses, but also like be a little genius girl. I think it works very much on an aesthetic level for me.
Yeah, I would be a fan.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, hopefully,
yeah.
One day we can get to Pretty Guardian. It needs to be available. They need to do a better job of bringing over like tokusatsu shows.
I don't know why.
Definitely.
No, but you've also done a lot of the musicals.
Yeah, I love the musicals. I'm a huge like Broadway nerd from way back, so just combining that with Sailor Moon is like, oh great, you made this for me specifically. So I appreciate
So
that.
it's true that some of them are good, unlike the one we watched.
The
I
one we
promise.
watched was long.
I think they all have some redeeming value in them, whether that's for hilarity levels or for like genuine like aesthetic levels. It varies greatly.
Gotcha.
Did you get to see the Super live?
I did. I went to go see Super Live in New York.
Cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was so
Did you see the
glad.
early show or the late show?
I saw the matinee.
Yep, me too. So we were
Really?
together.
Wow.
We were both there.
What? We were just two ships that pass in the night, as Barry Manilow would say.
It
No.
was a good crowd though. The people were excited,
Yes.
including me.
I absolutely love being surrounded. Like on Twitter, I feel like I'm always like surrounded by people who are very passionate about like Sailor Moon and Magical Girls, but like physically being in that space with so many other Sailor Moon fans was like eye-opening. Like this is really like, this is physically like how people feel about it.
Yeah, there was a feeling in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just like this like energy that like just kept building on itself. Like incredible.
As someone who got a Sailor Moon tattoo earlier that day and was sitting next to
No
someone
way.
who was in a full Sailor Mars costume,
Yeah.
there was a vibe in the crowd.
Oh my gosh.
So is there anything like I know you're reading the manga now.
Yes, I actually just finished it like a few weeks ago.
Oh.
So now I have all that canon in my head too.
Thumbs down, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm kidding, obviously.
Naoko Takeuchi, who'd she ever beat?
No.
Is there anything else? Crystal, I guess. Did you do Crystal?
I've seen Crystal, but I never blogged about it because there was so much like drama about it at first. I don't know if you guys all got entrenched in that, but people were like, there was like the everyone who loves the magical romance, the miracle romance versus like everyone who prefers like the slow pace of the original anime, and just like there was like so much when it was first coming out, so I just like stayed away from it.
Oh, I have a question about Crystal. I just realized because I remember when Crystal was first coming out, there
Yeah.
was this thing about how the animation wasn't finished.
Yeah. So apparently like when it was airing, like they would just send out the rushed version and then later they would fix it for its like official like DVD release.
Did they upgrade the Hulu versions eventually? I wonder.
I don't know about that. I'm going to have to do some research.
That's a good question because I assume we'll watch that and presumably on Hulu because that's what we have.
Yeah.
Final season.
Oh,
right.
Nope. It all ends.
I meant like in our spare time.
Who will sit upon the Iron Throne?
Oh, I think it's like the Moon Throne would be, I guess. Well, the Pudding Throne, maybe.
Who will sit upon the Pudding Throne? Who will sit under the little blanket table at Hikawa Shrine? I forget what the blanket table is called. I know people are yelling at their phones right now.
Yes.
Kotetsu? Did I get that right? But yes.
Kotatsu, yeah.
Audrey, who ended up being your favorite scout?
It ended up being Sailor Jupiter.
Oh.
I ended up
Good
being
choice.
obsessed with her. Yeah. Yeah. Just like immediately like her struggle with like, being feminine versus being a tomboy and like how that impacts her self-image. I was like, oh no, my poor baby. It's so much more nuanced than like usually you just have like, one of the girls is a tomboy and she doesn't think about it. But like she's so self-conscious about it. And I was like, wow. And then you watch her grow through all the seasons and become confident in who she is. Oh, what a delight.
Well, the question that we always have for people who tell us Jupiter is their favorite is, how tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Oh my God.
So,
1 inch taller.
You'd be towering over her.
Yes.
Than Kotakino, canonically.
Yeah, maybe that's why I relate. Wow.
Not the tallest Senshi, by the way.
Really?
Oh, what?
Yeah, Setsuna's 5'10".
What?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Is that counting crazy heels she wears?
I don't, I don't know. I'm just going by what I read when I do my research.
I don't
That's
approve of this.
wild. That's wild.
You don't approve of Setsuna, who is clearly visually taller than everyone else, being taller than everyone else. Is that what I'm hearing?
Disapproved. Rejected.
Banned.
All right.
I guess it's banned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, what are the other questions that we ask? What do you think of Chibiusa?
Oh man. I feel like my main emotion towards Chibiusa is pity. Because I feel like she turned out the way she was because she had to like live with her mom and her dad who just didn't pay any attention to her.
Yeah.
And like in the manga it says, like, I don't know if you know this, but it says she's literally 900 years old.
We've heard.
Oh yes.
So like
we've had that discussion.
I cannot believe like she like in that canon at least, she's experienced like more than like 30 people's lifetimes by herself. And
I mean, I look forward to eventually reading that part because I don't know if that will make me hate her more or like her. Okay.
Yeah, if you don't know this, Jordan hates Chibi.
Yeah.
Oh, I really do.
I'm sure that last season was a treat then.
It was the worst.
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but I was watching this episode today and being like, oh, Jordan's going to be happy. She's going back to the future. And then we all got swerved.
I have a big yay in my notes, and I have a big no in my notes.
Oh, no. Bye, Chibiusa.
What do you think of the miracle romance between Usagi and Mamoru?
That's a great question. I personally put it on the back burner because to me, Sailor Moon is very much about like the power of female friendship. So it's like her and the inner senshi and like the power that they draw from that. Because like, that's always what saves the day in the end. Miracle romance, I'm like, honestly, for me, you could take it out of the story and it wouldn't change anything. That might be a bold claim to make, but I'm very take it or leave it.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, there's subtle things that would change, but no, the large bulk of it would be pretty similar.
Every now and then, like Tuxedo Mask appears like in an episode, and I'm like, I forgot about you.
But they don't even have to be in a romance for him to just show up.
Right? Yeah, he's just a helpful neighbor fellow who wants to do his part in the community.
I mean, again, it would change. The thing it would change for me is that I love the Silver Crystal episode where they all reveal themselves to each other. But
yeah,
what do they say in that episode?
Well, she finds out that he's Tuxedo Mask, you see, and then reacts like this.
Keep that in mind for a few minutes.
For a few minutes from now. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got something queued up.
And then, so apparently you love Usagi Ami, but one of our typical questions is, what do you think of the pairing of Usagi? I'm sorry, let's try that again. Of Ami and Makoto.
Especially in the 90s anime, it works for me. Mostly because of that episode where Ami asks Makoto to dance when no one else will dance with her. I was like, oh my gosh, wow.
That does seem like the main place. Although, again, when we watched that episode, it blew my mind because I had seen it before, but I'd forgotten. It blew my mind because that part was really good, and the rest of the episode is fucking bananas.
Absolutely.
Let's sit outside for 12 hours.
It's insane. The whole Amazon trio arc.
Yeah.
The clues are there if you want to put them together. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all there.
Yeah.
Do we have any other standard questions, Jordan? Am I forgetting anything?
That's them. I think that's it.
All right. Well, then I think we should go on and get into the episode. What do you think?
We gotta. There's so much.
All right. We are going to be watching episode 167 of Sailor Moon, episode 1 of Sailor Stars. There has been a title change. There's been a theme song change that we'll be talking about in a minute, I'm sure. And this episode is called The Flower of Nightmares Scatters, The Queen of Darkness Returns. It was written by Ryota Yamaguchi. It was directed by Tokiya Igarashi. And the animation director was Katsumi Tamagai. It originally aired on March 9th, 1996. And people might be... This, like we said, it's episode 1 of Sailor Stars. This might be your first episode of Sailor Moon or of Sailor Business.
That's a mistake. And obviously our advice to you is stop what you're doing. Go back to the beginning. That's a dumb thing to do. Don't start with season 5. Come on. It's a trick.
Season 5 / season 1.
It's a trick.
Jordan.
It's a trick. It's not really season 1.
It's absolutely a trick. But just in case it is, Jordan, can I take like 10 seconds?
Does it have to be a full 10? Like, that's so much.
I have a lot of ground to cover, but can I just get like 10 seconds? Just a quick 10?
10 seconds.
Okay. This is to catch everybody up. By popular demand, it's the return of my recaps of Sailor Moon. Our heroine is Usagi Tsukino. She's a Cancer, her blood type is O, and her birthday is June 30th. She's 15 years old and enjoys eating, sleeping, and taking the easy way out, and attends Juban High School with her best friends, Ami Mizuno, the kind-hearted girl genius, Mikoto Kino, the powerful girl in love, and Minako Aino, for whom the thirst is very real.
I mean, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but all right.
Her other best friend is Rei Hino, the hot-headed psychic, but she attends a different school, the prestigious TA Academy. Secretly, the 5 girls are also Sailor Moon, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Venus, and Sailor Mars, respectively, the guardians of love and justice known as the Sailor Senshi. They are also the reincarnations of 5 space princesses from a moon kingdom from the distant past called Silver Millennium, and Usagi is also the reincarnation of the moon pudding, Princess Serenity, who will eventually become the god queen of the universe, Neo Queen Serenity, despite never learning how to write properly. They are aided in their fight by the mysterious Tuxedo Mask. The reason they were reincarnated is that their souls were sent to Earth by the previous Queen Serenity, Usagi's space mother, when Silver Millennium was attacked by the Dark Kingdom, led by the evil Queen Beryl, whose lust for power was only matched by her lust for Endymion, the Prince of Earth. He was also reincarnated in the President's memory, Chiba, whose interests include horticulture, collecting buck-wild outfits, and having dead parents. After awakening to their true identities, the Sailor Senshi battled against Queen Beryl, her henchman the Four Kings of Heaven, and the secret double queen, Metalia, and Usagi made a shocking discovery that Mamoru Chiba was actually...
Yes, Tuxedo Mask, I don't believe it.
I mean, that's not when it happened, but all right.
After that, they briefly dealt with 2 incestuous alien plant teens named Ale and Anne. Then a pink-haired little girl who was also named Usagi Tsukino dropped out of the sky and pulled a gun. This is Chibiusa, who turned out to be Usagi and Mamoru's daughter from the future, who came back to the present day for reasons that genuinely escaped me at
7
this
seconds.
time. She was pursued through time by Prince Demand and his henchmen in the Black Moon clan, Rubius, the Spectre Sisters, and Wise Man, who turned out to be an evil entity called Death Phantom. Having saved Chibiusa, they sent her back to the future and got caught up in a battle against horny creep Professor Tomoe and his team of sexy grad students who used an easy bake oven to turn common household items into sexy lady monsters who stole people's hearts in an effort to awaken Mistress Nine, who was possessing his daughter Hotaru. They also met a pair of previously unknown Sailor Senshi, Michiru Kaio and Haruka Tenno, the American cousins and Japanese lesbians, also known as Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, who answered the call from a new era to fight with brilliance and elegance, respectively. They were willing to kill people in order to prevent the end of the world caused by the silence, which turned out to be Hotaru, who turned out to be Mistress Nine, which turned out to be actually Pharaoh 90, who was possessing Hotaru's dad and turning him into a sex creep. Fortunately, the Outer Senshi didn't need to kill anyone because Sailor Moon tapped into cosmic power and turned Hotaru into a baby. With that, the Outer Senshi left, leaving the Inner Senshi to battle against a new threat, Madame Zirconia and the Dead Moon Circus. Zirconia wanted to steal people's dreams to resurrect her boss, another secret second queen named Nehelenia, a task that she left to 3 people who used to be animals who also wanted to have sex with all of their targets. They were later replaced by 4 little girls in bikinis. This season sucked. While Zirconia and her henchmen were defeated, Queen Nehelenia remained, and the Sailor Senshi all got into high school.
Wait.
And just so you know who we are, my name is Chris Sims, and I'm a writer who also does a million podcasts. I make jokes about pro wrestling and D&D, and insist that Ami and Makoto are a couple called #Cookbook. My co-host is Jordan White, an editor at Marvel Comics who doesn't think crystals are real and has a mid-90s website about how much he hated Chibiusa. We are both straight dudes, and no one should care what we think about this show, so our guest is always a woman, and for 166 episodes plus specials, they have all been fantastic, and that's where we stand at the start of Sailor Stars.
Okay. You didn't give us enough information there.
I only had 10 seconds, Jordan.
You left out some vital stuff.
What did I leave out?
What's the
And you know
deal?
what? You write it next time then.
I mean, it's just 10 seconds. How long is it going to take? You left out the deal
Unbelievable.
about what's the deal with Nehelenia. You mentioned her, but like...
I was saying this to Audrey before we started recording. I don't remember the deal with Nehelenia, honestly. It has not been that long since we finished Supers, and I was just fucking ready to go.
Okay, well, the deal basically, the quick version is that they like trapped her in some mirror dimension again. That's where she was, and then she got out, and then they re-trapped her somehow.
And she is Zirconia?
No. Yes. Maybe. At first, no, and then maybe yes, and then I'm going to say I like it as yes.
See, you don't know what's going on in this season either.
I don't think anybody does. Definitely not the writers.
Good news. There's no horse anymore.
There is no horse. We have been assured that we are horse free from now on, which I'm excited about. You have to tell us if he comes back, because I need to be prepared.
So you want to know about which episode he comes back in?
Yeah, I want to know. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If he does come back, the episode will be called Pegasus Returns.
Good point. That's how the show works.
That's how the show works. Speaking of titles, we are past the Deke and Cloverway dubs. It's truly the end of an era.
It's true.
Which means we are going to give these episodes their American titles. And Audrey, as our guest, would you like to go first with a suggested American title for this episode?
Sure. So, from what I've gathered, the Deke titles are always either based heavily on alliteration or just straight up puns. So, this one, I decided maybe call it Helicopter Mom, because Sailor Pluto blew up in a helicopter, but now she's a mom.
Oh.
That's pretty great. Jordan?
Oh, man. I'm trying to come up with something to do with glass, but I'm not getting there yet.
You've had like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and you had an additional 10 seconds because I did the recap.
That's true. All of this is true. Broken-hearted baddie? Oh, that's terrible.
Oof. Yeah, but I mean, it is terrible, but it's exactly the kind of terrible that we were expecting from this show. So don't feel too bad.
How about you?
I was going to call it Hello High School.
But we didn't even see them get to high school.
But they have their new uniforms and they talk about it.
They do.
Love it.
Which, by the way, not a fan.
What?
You don't like the uniforms? For the new uniforms? No.
Why?
I don't care for the new uniforms, probably because I'm just used to the other ones. But I also don't like that 4 of the 5 Senshi now have matching uniforms. Because either they need to be mostly different like they used to be, or one of them can't have a different outfit.
Sure, that's fair.
Because then Raid just looks weird.
Well, she is.
I mean, yeah, she is. But she goes to that prestigious TA Academy, Jordan.
But listen, before we get to their high school uniforms, there's something far more important to talk about.
Okay, by all means. The
bitchin' ass song that starts this episode.
Yes.
Listen, I love the Sailor Moon theme song. Obviously. It's great. It's the Sailor Moon theme song. Everyone loves it. The Sailor Stars theme song rules. Like the idea, if someone came to me, and this probably did happen, if someone came to me and said, hey, the last season of Sailor Moon has a different theme song, I'd be like, what? That's a terrible idea. Why would they do? It's the Sailor Moon theme song. This theme song rules. It's great. It's great.
I want this song played at my funeral when I die. It's such a bop.
Maybe I just was in a bad mood this morning, but hard disagree.
Oh, no.
It'll grow on you. You're going to hear it like 40 times. As long as you don't skip it. And you will start singing along and you'll be like,
I'm going to be hearing it for the next year of my life.
You know how you used to be like, Mirakuru romansu. You know how you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be going along, Sailor Wings, Sailor Stars. That's going to be you.
I've got it.
In like 6 months.
I've got it.
You've got it already?
Is this it? Yeah,
that's the one.
I don't know. Like, I think maybe I have too much current attachment to Moonlight Densetsu.
Wait. The drum kicks in. It's so good.
Say the stuff.
I don't know. It didn't grab me. I am willing to believe that it will grow on me. So far, my power rankings are strong number 1, Moon Pride.
True.
Moon Pride A+, number 1 song.
It's a really good song. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but
and
tough.
then number 2, Moonlight Densetsu, and then this one, which
I don't want to ever rank them. They're all
No, I can't.
They're all my favorite, like your Sailor Scout Inner Senshi.
They're all good. I don't know what to tell you.
But now let's talk about the sequence too, because it's a great sequence. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's got some fun bits where you get to see the scouts in like a split screen situation where they're like in their civilian identities and in their Senshi identities, doing bits where Sailor Moon is pigging out as always.
I love bits.
And Ami is studying, except guess what? She's hiding ice cream behind her math book. What?
That's very out of character.
It is a little bit, but I think it symbolizes how they're all growing on each other because they all have like little weirdnesses to their thing. So like, because Rei is shopping, I guess that's very Rei. Makoto is dressed in a what do you call it? The ceremonial garb. You're not going to help me out here.
I don't know, buddy.
Are you not watching it? You usually watch.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, that thing.
Is it a yukata?
Yukata, yes, that is what.
That sounds right.
It is not a kimono, which we have called it before.
Mina is cooking. Oddly, it's nice. It's nice stuff. And then there's crazy monsters. It's just a great Sailor Moon opening, man. It's great.
I do like that they're all goofing around.
Yeah,
in the opening, because the opening sequences have never been like the strongest part of Sailor Moon. And sometimes it's just they're like, determined walking.
Oh yeah, there's far less of that in this one.
Yeah. Which, is fine. I like the determined walking, but we could do more.
Yeah. In this one, I think that like they do such a good job of establishing each character in like 1 second of screen time. Like, you have Ami like studying, but then she also has ice cream, so she's like fun on the inside now. And then like, Rei, who's like she's doing her shopping, but then she falls because like she's imperfect. So like it like shows like all these like character nuances and contradictions like really fast, and like props to them.
It's also nice that Makoto gets to be like in like the most like ultra feminine.
Yeah,
outfit,
I love my girl.
Do you get to see from Makoto too often?
To explain the Ami thing, Chris, she's in high school now, so she gets to like take a breather for a second.
That's right. She's finished her high school entrance exams.
I mean, she's so good at everything that she's like, I don't have to try that hard to like ace everything. I can have an ice cream.
She is a kind-hearted girl genius, and her IQ is 300. So.
and she follows the protocols of RoboCop.
And she does follow RoboCop's protocols from OCP,
so we know she's good.
Yeah, just like RoboCop.
All right, so
there's a baby in a park.
I think it's the baby's yard. And did you immediately know who this was?
No, I did not, because I kind of forgot that this happened because it's bonkers.
Yeah, this is Sailor Saturn reduced to a baby. I immediately went, is that Hotaru? Here's a fun coincidence. When I typed Hotaru into my iPhone, it tried to autocorrect it to horsey.
No, we're done.
I know. That is what I said. And
that's her dub name.
What is Hotaru's dub name, Jordan?
I think it's Hotaru, actually.
I think it might be too, because we had to look up...
I think that's the one they left that way, yeah.
We had to look up Setsuna's.
She alone was spared.
Which was what? Trista, that's right.
So we cut from the baby to an image of Sailor Moon with wings. Oh yeah, another thing you left out of your recap. Sailor Moon can grow wings now.
I don't think that's Jesus.
Well,
Jordan.
here's the next episode, and she's got
I'm
wings.
trying to get through it as quick as I can. It's a complicated
Here's
show.
Here's the thing about these wings that she's got. They appear to be connected to like her lower back.
Yeah, they're lumbar wings.
That's not right. That is not how wings are supposed to attach to humans.
Really? How do wings attach to people, Jordan?
Yeah.
Well, as the X-Men editor, I know that they're up at the shoulder blades.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like having 4 arms? Because like in birds and bats, like those are just the fingers.
Right, absolutely.
So just like having just a little extra set of arms that are from a different species. It's very fun.
We've seen Hotaru as a baby, which means we see Tomoe, and let me tell you,
As a babe.
Daddy,
Yeah.
what's up?
He took those glasses off.
He took his glasses off and stopped like manufacturing sexy lady robots,
That wasn't his idea.
and now he
Yeah,
looks like a
something-
human being again.
He was being brainwashed.
Yeah, he was a secret pharaoh. Maybe. Again, I'm so
Secret
unclear on
pharaoh.
how the ends of all these seasons work because I'm so tired by the time we get there.
So then he picks up his baby. He's like, "What's going on, baby?" And then all of a sudden, a mysterious woman shows up and says, "Give me your baby."
And he's like, cool, will do. Apparently,
yeah.
spoiler warning, I watched about 2 episodes ahead just so I would have a little bit of context for the start
Oh.
of the season.
Cheater.
We don't see this dude again. We do see Hotaru with her new family.
Yep. Yep.
We don't even see him giving her the baby. It just cuts right to the opening title.
Later in the episode, she says, "I borrowed this baby."
I borrowed this.
Mm,
Do you think he's
I
dead?
don't
Do you think
they
she
call
killed
it
him?
borrowing the baby.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that terminology.
You think she killed him?
I don't think she didn't kill him.
Wait.
I'm saying, like, she does control a lot of like space and time, so like she has a lot of like options for like like getting rid of people.
She could just pause him and bring the baby back when she's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, out in the yard. just put him on pause out in the yard.
In his pastoral, like German-inspired home. That's so funny.
Honestly, probably what he deserves.
Wow. It wasn't him. It was Pharaoh 90. Come on.
What's even funny about this is that, like, I had forgotten, but Sailor Pluto was like extremely dead before this point.
Well,
Like she was unambiguously killed off, right?
let's talk about that when we get to her next scene because
All right.
I do want to talk about the reactions to her. But yeah, let's wait for that. So we cut to after the titles, we cut to Usagi, who, as you said, is now in high school. She's in her new high school uniform with all her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just hanging out.
They finally got a uniform that will fit Makoto.
Well, she finally got old enough that girls are meant to be that size, apparently.
Their sizes have not changed.
Yes, but they're in a school. They're older.
Okay, fair.
So they're all really psyched. They're all really thrilled. Mina is excited because she can be in the same school with Usagi, and they can take makeup exams together when they fail everything.
I thought that was extremely good. See, like we had such a complaint about Mina in the first season because they clearly had no idea what to do with her, and over like maybe the best thing about Supers, which was a bad season, was that they actually did like a lot of really good Mina character development where she has a personality now and her personality is Usagi but more. Which I really like.
But that started in season S.
Yeah, I know, but like it continued.
Yeah. But don't forget the awesome Mina versus, oh my god, I just forgot her wonderful name. Mehmet. Mina versus Mehmet competition,
yes,
talent competition.
The amazing episode featuring the best character on Sailor Moon, Mehmet.
She's wonderful. Are you making fun of? I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No, I love Mehmet.
Okay, all right, you better.
I love the witches of various descending numbers.
Yeah.
I love a few of them. A couple barely exist. But anyway.
Are we ever gonna get villains that good? Villains as good as Esmeralda. Are we ever going to get them again?
Keep reading, True Believer.
Okay, thanks. Audrey, favorite villains, by the way, since
not including season 5.
Not including season 5. Oh man. Oh, definitely the Doomtree aliens. From
what?
Are
you serious?
Yes, I'm going to defend them with my life. They just want to be normal teens.
Yes.
You know, they're also the only ones whose main motive was just like survival, and I feel like they actually like learned something at the end.
Yeah.
I thought that was lit. That was cool.
I am genuinely upset that the Spectre sisters never came back.
Oh yeah, that's a bummer.
Oh yeah.
But Alan and Anne are great in theory. And they're kind of like the Star Wars prequels to me. Which is in that the longer I go without watching them, the more I make them into something great in my mind. And then if I actually watch them, I go, oh yeah.
I loved it because it was like watching like a sitcom, like a high school sitcom, like Saved by the Bell, except just with aliens for no reason. It's great.
The episodes where they're just, as we call them in the show, shitty space teens, they're very good. Unfortunately, there are not as many of those as you remember.
Yeah,
but and I because I do love how messed up their setup is, because they're space lovers who come here and pretend to be siblings and then try really hard to cheat on each other.
Because they are for real siblings, though.
No, they're not. They're not.
They are absolutely.
No, they're like, we're all children of Earth.
You keep saying it, and no, they are literal children of the Doomtree, and there are 2 of them.
They are not literal children of the Doomtree. He did not have tree babies.
You don't know that, actually, Jordan.
I believe it. Anyway, why are we? How did we get?
I asked Audrey what her favorite villain was.
Right.
Jordan, favorite villain outside of the season?
Oh gosh, I mean that is really tough. I honestly, Mehmet is pretty great. They all have their moments. Oh, but then I also love Jedi. I really do.
Jedi is also very good.
He's very charming right off the bat.
He has a lot of business plans.
He's just an entrepreneur at heart.
Yeah. That's really tough. You know, it'd be fun to make like a supervillain team up of like one villain from each season.
Ooh, that would be a good Chibiusa. We should do that.
Okay. And then people should do fan art of it because I want to see all of it.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to the show. The girls are talking about how hard the exams are, and then out comes the dirty secret, which I think we might have been mentioned on the show once before, on Sailor Business once before. But the dirty secret that Ray didn't actually have to study with them.
Nope.
Ray didn't have to take the entrance exams. She had an automatic admission to the same school.
Yeah, because TA Academy is like K through 12.
So the whole time that they were going over her house and going, oh, this is so hard, she was like, yeah, real hard.
Yeah.
Super difficult.
I actually, that made me like Ray a little more because she is in solidarity.
You think that she did it in solidarity, or do you think she just liked hanging out with her friends and was like, I'm not going to mention to them that I don't actually have to work?
6 of 1. Solidarity takes many forms, Jordan.
Right. So then they get excited about what it means that they're all older. And I was very weirded out that Makoto's excited because now she can get a job. And I was like, what?
Well, she lives alone and is an orphan.
Guess that's true. How does she live? Does she have like a state allowance or something?
I mean, I don't know.
Or does she have that dead parent money like Mamoru does?
Probably got that dead parent money.
She doesn't have that much though. We've never seen her to be like rich.
Well, she's not an ostentatious spender like some people. All of their t-shirts and rose gardens.
Sports cars.
Yeah, he's got a car and a motorcycle.
That's at least
Does not
one of each.
Need all that.
So she's excited about that, and then Usagi's excited that at age 16 they can get married.
Okay, on the one hand, that is wild. On the other hand, she does literally already know who she is going to be married to for the next 900 years.
Yes.
Like, we're currently just wasting time.
Why delay the inevitable?
So you're on the side of their relationship now all of a sudden.
Look, I am... The show is on the side of their relationship, so...
Yes, accurate. So you're giving in. Okay.
Yeah, look, I gotta engage with... It's a new season. I'm engaging with the show on its terms, as long as it doesn't give me another horse.
Nope, no horse. No horse coming. Speaking of the devil, Mamoru and
Jordan, the phrase is
Chibi walk
speak of
up.
the devil. Speaking of the devil is a different thing, and I like it, but...
Strange.
I mean, but, like, I was speaking of the devil, and then he appeared.
Oh man, I
right?
took running with the devil out of the soundboard to make room for the Sailor Moon stuff. Rats.
I mean, good. That's what the show is about. But speaking of the devil,
if you would like to hear the very good drops I have from Running with the Devil, please listen to Apocryphals. It's this, but for the Bible.
Also, I think you've played it on the show before.
I think I probably have, yeah.
So, anyway, Mamoru and Chibi show up, and they're like, this was a weird line. They go, "Why do you have a backpack?" And I was like, I don't know, school? Like, what? She has stuff and wants to carry it? Yeah, exactly. Some dumb art supplies or something? She wants to dress up as Picasso again or whatever she does?
It's a very inorganic way to announce what she's going to announce.
Yeah, she's going to go back to the future.
Another thing you could have told me, and I would have had it on the soundboard. Wow. This show is really about the power of love.
Oh, you've got to believe in the power of love. All right. Cut to a world where even time and light are frozen.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, Nehelenia is soaking in it.
I saw this and I was like, oh, that's the dream. Oh, just please, yes, just send me to the empty void where I can only exist as a consciousness.
And you'll just float and look at yourself in the mirror all day long?
Yeah, why not?
All right. I mean, listen, there is part of the scene where it seems like maybe she is happy with it, because she does say it's the ideal
pretty
place.
Chill about it, actually.
Yeah. She says it's the ideal place to preserve her eternal beauty, which is her whole deal.
That's all she really wanted.
That's what she wanted.
The thing is, isn't this where she was trapped before and was very unhappy about it?
I mean, maybe.
I don't know either. It's hard to say.
There are a lot of different weird voids in this show.
Yeah, that is
It's
accurate.
tough to tell what's a multidimensional chaos world, what's a mirror dimension.
In addition, in some ways, I feel like even though this episode aired a mere week after the end of the previous season, I feel like, and that it features the exact same villain, I feel like it is still a departure from everything that season was about, which is weird. Like it's like they barely remembered what last season was about, and that'll come up again in a few minutes when her heart comes out. But anyway, she's floating through nothing, thinking about how calm and relaxing it is, and how she can't wait to stay there forever.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, a voice just starts talking to her and is like, "Hey,
wake up!
Yeah,
wake up, punk! It's time to be evil."
Yep, exact. And just says, "Yeah, I'll release you. Hey, what if I take you out of this dumb place?" And she's like, "I'm sorry, what?" And reality like smashes around her and lets her out.
Evil, you say? I do like being evil.
The mysterious voice is just like, "Hey, your enemies are living normal, happy lives. You gonna let them do that?" And Elenia's just like, "No, I'm not."
It's also what my alarm clock says every morning.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I know it's not true, but it's hilarious.
You don't know that, Jordan.
I mean,
never woken up next to me.
I just stayed asleep. No, So they're all back in the park watching Chibi get ready for her thing. Oh, by the way, Diana's leaving too, and I know, Chris, you're probably going, "Who's that?" It's another character you left out of your recap.
Oh my god. I am so mad right now. Like I'm starting to get like legitimately mad.
You had
at this
10
bit that you're clearly
seconds.
doing.
10 seconds.
I worked very hard on it, Jordan. Can't believe this.
So anyway, so this is the part where I wrote yay, because Chibiusa is going back. Oh, first of all, by the way, let's talk about her like incantation she has to do. Tear apart the heavens and open wide for me the door of space and time. Oh, Kronos. I summon thee by thy true name, oh omnipotent god of time. So anyway, she does all her she sacrifices a goat.
Yeah.
And it opens a beam to the future. And then she just kind of goes, I summoned the beam. It'll sit there for as long as I want. So I'm just going to sit here for like 10 minutes and look at it.
Yeah.
Just get in the goddamn beam,
Yeah.
girl.
Get it.
Get in the goddamn beam. Potential episode title.
Yes. But yeah, this is when Helenia looks down at them and sees them and breaks the entire show. So
How this time?
this is something we've been talking about since season 1 of this show, Chris.
Okay.
What comes up anytime any character looks at Sailor Moon and sees, Sailor Moon having her long blonde hair with the odongos in it? What do we talk about?
We talk about how Sailor Moon manages to maintain a secret identity.
Yeah. How her father can see her and at a dance and go, that's not my daughter, and things like that. And we always kind of went, well, it's magic. Like she's got like a magic distortion field or something, or she looks different, except that now Helenia looks at regular Usagi and regular Chibi Usagi and just goes, hey, I know them.
Ah.
Yeah, well, she's outside of our dimension, so...
No, she's not. She's just up in space looking down at Earth.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever then. I mean, yes, the show is broken, but that's why it's a new show, Jordan.
And yeah, this is the part where she's upset. She's like, no, I saw them jump off. I saw them fall to the ground. And it's like, no, you saw them fall towards the ground.
She does,
They grew
she does
wings.
say that, which is very funny.
What you didn't realize is they would grow wings and fly away and be okay.
Didn't think of that, did you?
I understand why she thought they would be dead, but they're not.
She didn't see a body. It's just...
Is that how you are in real life, Chris? You're like, I demand to see the body?
Yep.
That was her mistake. You got to learn from fiction.
Yeah, I read a lot of superhero comics. I watch a lot of Sailor Moon. So I have learned, you don't see that body, they ain't really dead.
Yep.
Terrible. So so this mysterious voice is just goading the shit out of her. Wow, that must really suck for you. Oh man. Like, you must be so mad, right? Oh, I'd be mad.
They'd
That's
be ashamed
effed up.
if something happened to them.
Oh, poor you. So it goads her and goads her and goads her until this thing happens where a black mirror pops out of her.
And it's like, what if Amazon.com was bad?
Now
Was
streaming
what?
on Netflix.
Thank you, Audrey. You got it.
Oh, no, sorry. Wow. I can't believe I missed
Robots.
that. What do you think about that?
That's my impression of Black Mirror.
This is actually just her tablet, and in the black mirror is because it sees a reflection.
Yeah, so that's when the show becomes one of my recurring nightmares.
Wait, no, hold on, because again, this is where I was like, did you guys forget last season? Because last season was all about mirrors popping out of people, and it wasn't this. They specifically are like, that's your heart. And I'm like, wait, we did that too, and they didn't look like mirrors. They were little crystals. That was 2 seasons ago. What are you doing? What are you doing here? So tell us about your nightmare, Chris.
Yeah, so that's when shards of glass start falling down from the sky.
Yeah, because she
and
smashes
landing
the mirror
directly in people's eyes.
Yes.
So
Now this is a legend. This is from a legend. This is from the Snow Queen.
No, this
Right?
is from me having nightmares, because, like, actually, fuck this.
Well, don't worry. There's no evil queens in the sky smashing mirror hearts and dropping them.
Are
yes,
you
as
sure?
sure as I am that crystals don't have magic in them. Which is pretty sure.
I feel like you think you know a lot of things, Jordan, that you don't actually know.
I know. I think that I do know them. That's why I know
You
them.
would not. You would have no way of knowing if there was an evil queen in space right now.
You know who you sound like right now? Luna's boyfriend.
The Rhett Butler?
No, the science guy who believed in the Moon Queen.
Oh yeah, that dork.
The
human boyfriend.
Yeah, her human boyfriend that she made out with. Yeah, sorry.
I'll take the cat who only wants to sleep. Like that's.
No, you're thinking of Garfield. Rhett Butler kicked ass and was half demon.
If
Rhett
only
Butler
I
is
could
the
live
true
that
hero.
Garfield life.
No, but this is a thing. So I'm trying to find it. The Snow Queen, right? Isn't that the one where, or is it the
Princess Kaguya's lover?
No, not that. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the glass in the eye. Isn't that or is it the Ice Queen? It's one of those two. Let me look at that. Let me look this up. Yeah, here we go. It was Hans Christian Andersen. It looks like, and one of them was about there was a demon school where they carried a glass.
What are you talking? That was also 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and so they wanted to fly with it up to heaven to see the angels. But the higher they flew, the more slippery the glass became, and they could scarcely hold it. And it slipped from their hands, fell to earth, and was broken into millions of pieces. But now the looking glass caused more unhappiness than ever, for some of the fragments that were not so large as a grain of sand flew around the world to every country, and they flew into a person's eye. It stuck there, unknown to them, and from that moment he saw everything through a distorted medium, and could only see the worst side of what he looked at. For even the smallest fragment contained the same power which had belonged to the whole mirror.
I hate it. This is like up there with my teeth are falling out for me.
That's the rest of the season.
We've actually had that episode too.
Right, right.
I mean, I'd say that the Sailor Scouts are naked at school, but that probably happens. That's how this show works.
So one of these little, God, I hate saying it. One of these little pieces of glass goes straight into Mamoru's eye.
It's so small. It's barely even noticeable.
Oh my
I hate
gosh.
it. And that leads us into our act break. Oh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It weirdly that feels more dated
Okay.
than the first one.
Okay.
Anyway, Jordan,
You'll get used
how are
to it.
you?
I'm great.
Audrey, how are you?
Amazing.
Glad to
I
hear it.
one up you at all points.
That's fine.
Well, we're here in the middle of the show, and
Oh.
this is when we like to talk about how people can help support the show. That's your cue, Jordan.
Oh. Usually you ask me how they can support the show. Well, here's how.
That hasn't
They
worked
can.
out so well for me in the past.
Well, most of the time I do it. Only sometimes am I willfully obtuse. They can go to a website called patreon.com, add a /Sailor Business, or search for Sailor Business once they're there, and they will find a place where they can donate as little as $1 a month and as much as $60,000 a month to our podcast. And at different levels of donation, or it's not donation, of patronage, they get different awards. First of all, just being awesome people who we appreciate, but also getting behind the scenes clips, weird things that get cut out of the episode. And then at the $15 level, you get a pin that we made. Now we currently have 2 different pins, and I think that there's plans for a third, which will probably be Xena based. That's going to be very exciting. And but like I said, all the people who donate to our patronage, so to speak, get thanked on the show, like these people right here.
Jordan, that's an excellent setup.
But you got no new people.
But we have had no new Patreon supporters since our last episode.
Man, I'm never working that hard again. This is ridiculous.
Well, I just want to, since we don't have any new supporters, I just want to thank everybody who has been supporting the show and continues to support the show. That's fantastic. Just so y'all know, my wife's going back to grad school this fall. So your boy could use
Hey,
it.
you know what? I have a question for our patrons. If you are a patron, let me ask you something. So, because right now I'll be honest, we've been hovering just below the threshold for musical business for a long time. And listen, I don't take that as an insult. Maybe I should, but I don't. But my question is this: is there something you guys would rather have than that? Is there something that you would like us to make as a goal for $1,000 a month because you think that would actually get you excited? What would it be? Let us know. I mean, we're not going to guarantee we'll do it, but we'll consider all your suggestions because we want to make you guys happy.
Those goals have pretty much been the same for 2.5 years now. So I would be totally up for restructuring them, maybe adding some new ones, taking some away. I am going to leave the one up there where if we get $60,000 a month, we will stop doing the show.
I know, of course, obviously.
Because that's the dream. Again, just put me in a Black Mirror.
What's the other ridiculous one? Oh yeah, 47. If we get $47,000 a month, we will post a new content every day. I still don't think that's enough, but all right.
I mean, look, then I'll take it.
What? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Whatever.
Anyway, yeah, let us know what kind of goals you guys would be interested in us exploring, and we will take a look at them and see what we can set up for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan, do you want to do anything else since we do not have anyone to thank at this time?
Let me just go to Twitter really quick because I did want to. First of all, I do want to say before we started recording, I hadn't looked at Twitter yet, and you made a reference to the people on the website on Twitter, I should say, wanting the recap back, and I laughed at you and thought that could not have actually been true. It's actually true.
Unbelievable. I worked really. You're being so mean right now.
No, there was a bunch of people that actually were excited for the recap to come back, so I'm glad that you did one.
Does anybody else want a podcast co-host who is willing to put a lot of work in to stupid bits? Because I am apparently not appreciated on this one.
Well, no, I'm really devoted to a stupid bit here. Clearly.
I mean, that's true. You've been here for 5 years. So.
All right. Let's see. What do we got? Here's an interesting one. Some tidbits for you. Aqua Alex wanted to let us know that in regards to Boko no Math, there is an anime called Baka and Test where students do fight using math and tests.
Well, that sounds delightful.
So I think you should probably watch that.
Why do I have to watch it? Why can't you watch it?
Because you like cartoons.
I have 26 other podcasts.
Oh, this sounds like 27. Math fighters. Let's see. Zane agrees with me. Luna is not a cat. She's an alien that happens to look similar to a cat. Her falling in love with an animal, Rhett Butler, is therefore infinitely weirder than her falling for an individual of another sapient species. Science boy.
Audrey, any thoughts on that? Where do you stand on the whole, is it weird for Luna to have a human boyfriend debate?
What's even weirder is that it's she already has a future child with her presumed baby daddy Artemis, and now she just has an interspecies side piece. It just feels bad on all levels.
But that was the really saddest part because again, Usagi and Mamo are already in love when they find out they have a child from the future. Luna finds out she has a child with Artemis from the future, and she's like, oh.
Right?
It is a doom for her.
Yeah. To me, it feels very much like a midlife crisis type of thing. She's trying to escape her responsibility by, going after this one unattainable guy who's a space dude, because that's cool.
Yeah.
She thinks it'll keep her young, but it won't, and she's gonna live 1,000 years more than she already has. I don't know how moon cats work.
I mean, and plus your favorite Sailor Moon is the one where she turns into a person on the regular.
Right? Yeah. I do love Sailor Luna.
I'm scared. I'm very apprehensive about Sailor Luna. I'm worried that she's... well, I don't want to say too much. I'm worried. I've said before, I'm worried she's like Chibiusa, but we won't go into it yet.
No, soothe those fears from your heart.
Okay. Thank God. All right. Well, that's all. That's just a quick little dip
I
into
do just want to reaffirm that Luna is a cat, and it's really fucking weird.
alien. She's an alien.
Cat.
A cat alien.
Cat. She's a yakety yak cat from outer space.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So you, Chris, right, go out into space, a yakety yak person from outer space.
Again, very rude, but okay.
Because you talk, it's a fact. But that's my point. You land on a like original Planet of the Apes style planet where humans don't talk, and they're all. I don't even want to say primitive. They're not. They don't have a society. Like they are animals, and the actual dominant species who can talk to you and you communicate with on the regular are cats. You're saying you'd be like, well, I guess I'll just find one of these unintelligent human animals and settle down with one of them.
No, I probably just would not invite that story to be told about me.
No, it's the story. This is your life, and I want you to choose.
Well, I would also quickly become the king of that planet because I am 80 times bigger than a cat. So,
dude, cats have claws.
Yeah, and
also these cats are smart. They have cat guns.
Yeah.
Cat guns.
Yes.
You're saying like there's no reason to be afraid of Godzilla because we have human guns?
You are not Godzilla to cats. If we were talking about a planet of ants, maybe. But even then, like 1 million of them could swarm you. Or a billion of them.
Honestly, Jordan, this depends on which Godzilla you're talking about.
What, current fat Godzilla?
Is Godzilla fat now? That sounds great.
Wait, have you not heard about this? When the most recent Godzilla movie came out, and it's the same one as in the new one, everyone in Japan made fun of it because they were like, he's so fat. He's an American Godzilla. He's fat.
They should not be body shaming Godzilla.
They did. It happened.
This
is
I'm just asking for trouble.
Well, they weren't concerned about it. Anyway, let's get back to the show.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Also, stop being mean about my recap. I worked very hard on it this morning. All right, so Mamoru has glass in his eye.
So when we cut back to the show, we're in an aquarium. What's the first thing you thought?
I thought, I know who hangs out in aquariums.
Yep, me too.
Or aquaria, I suppose.
That is the first thing I thought too. I actually assumed they probably own this aquarium.
Yeah. Where have they been? I mean, according to the TV special, they've just been like going to hotels and hitting on maids.
Yeah. They've been hanging out. I mean, now I understand that we watched those specials and the 2 movies just now, and that's not when most viewers would have watched them. But even so, it's weird how completely disconnected this feels from those things.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, yes, but I don't think this is like out of like the specials could have absolutely taken place between the last time we saw them and now, except for apparently Haruka has found religion.
Well, yes, let's talk about that. Giant
Haruka
cross.
has devoted her life to the Lord, apparently.
Giant golden cross on her chest. I mean, I guess, but haven't we been told that, like, actually, if I remember correctly, I think people have told us that in Japan, they will wear Christian stuff as a fashion thing in the way that we would wear Japanese religion things that we know nothing about and be like, yeah, whatever, it looks cool.
I mean, that makes sense, but it is like very prominent in the scene. Like, it is worth noting.
Huge golden cross.
I also really like Michiru's dress in this sequence. It's kind of like a heiress from Final Fantasy VII sort of thing going on.
I'm not familiar.
Well, I imagine people in 1997 would have been.
Oh. So they're seeing. So one of the things you didn't mention about the glass falling from the sky, it looks like shooting stars. Like everyone can see it streaking across the sky, like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of lights streaking through the sky. So Neptune is like, what's this? And Uranus is like, I don't know, something great. It's fine. And then they just go away. But that's when everybody starts going, ow, my eye, ow, my eye.
Yeah, and Haruka's hand gets cut. And so Michiru sucks the glass out of the wound.
Oh my god.
Because she's a vampire.
It's so funny.
These two are amazing.
It's bananas. Now they're supposed to be, they're high school students, right?
That's what they'd have you believe. But I have my doubts.
Yeah, Haruka's dressed like she just came in from the office.
She's like a youth pastor now, you know?
Cool youth pastor.
She's hip with the kids.
So the shard of glass gets sucked out of the hand. She reveals it on the she spits it out onto a handkerchief and reveals it.
Yeah, I can't help but read this as like a parallel to Usagi and Mamoru, because when Mamoru gets hit with the glass, he's just like, "Oh no, nothing's wrong," and Usagi's like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, it's okay." But Haruka immediately is like, "Ow, I'm hurt," and Michiru, like without dropping a beat, just drops to her knees and sucks it out in the most like sensual way possible. So I was like,
Yes,
it's wild.
Totally. Although, again, it's weird that in this case they were like, hand, because it would have been pretty fucking weird if she had sucked it out of her eye.
I feel like
oh my god,
Haruka and Michiru are like so over the top. Like there is, I feel like you could have gotten it with your fingers. You could have like plucked it out of there, but no.
They got to go the extra mile.
These two are extra at all times.
So anyway, the shard of glass is revealed on the handkerchief, and Haruka smacks it out of her hands like, "Get away from her!" And for a second, I thought it was going to explode, but in fact, it grows into a naked glass lady.
Yay!
A naked glass, kind of, sort of Nehelenia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Nehelenia, but made out of glass and naked, which did make me immediately go, wait. So is everybody who got glass in their eyes head about to explode? But no is the answer. No.
What a mystery epidemic.
Yeah,
glass ladies are exploding out of everyone's heads. So they all just start cropping up all over the place because these little glass bits landed everywhere, apparently.
And this is very much like one of those inverse law of ninjas sorts of things. Because like the more of these monsters that are around, the easier we get to the point, like in the R movie, where they are just getting mowed down.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Hang on. So all of these. So again, ostensibly what we are to believe here is, like, however many there are, 12 of them, 12 little shards of glass landed on this rooftop that they're on, and turned into ladies. But we saw hundreds, if not thousands, of these things fall. Are we to believe that there are hundreds and thousands of glass ladies right now, or are only these 12 activating right now?
I honestly do not know.
Because I'll tell you, when I was watching the episode, I kind of, in the back of my mind, thought, yeah, okay, that's happening everywhere. But I don't think that's true. And spoiler for the rest of this episode, we're not going to see the other scouts anymore.
Yeah, we're kind of not, are we? They come back next week.
Sailor Moon, the title character, is not in this one.
No Moon here.
Just Usagi, and just for a little bit. But no Sailor Moon.
Maybe like hundreds of Nehelenias like fell from the sky, but like instead of like attacking people, like these 12 are like, we're here to fight, but the other ones like just decide to become productive members of society instead. They all went and got jobs.
Statistically,
Wow.
most of them would have landed in the ocean.
True.
Right. But one of them landed in Mamo's eye, so presumably some of them landed nearby.
Yeah, that's true.
Japan is an island.
So Nehelenia herself can psychically talk to people through these glass girls for some reason, and starts being like, "Oh, I sense white moon energy. I'm gonna kill anybody who's got that white moon energy."
They're all like, I'm gonna kill anyone who's part of the white moon. And then Michiru is just like, I'm sensing a negative vibe from these people.
She gets to be the Counselor Troy of this episode.
Yeah. Right.
Captain. There you go, Chris. That was for you. Captain, I'm sensing negative energy.
I feel like your Troy's getting better.
Thank you.
Because they announced they were gonna murder you.
Yeah, she's sensing negative energy from the monsters that have surrounded them and said out loud they were going to kill them.
Yeah, so they look like they're in a bit of a pickle.
And that's it. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, but you know who can do something?
Who's that?
Sailor Pluto.
What does she do?
Dead scream. I will never
Nice.
get tired of the fact that there is an attack named Dead Scream in this this show. It's like there's a continuum, and on one end is Pink Sugar Heart Attack, and on the other end is Dead Scream.
Now, this is the part where I think we need to talk about the specials and the movies.
Okay.
Because we just watched the Super S movie. Now, again, I understand the Super S movie did not take place the day before this, but it took place sometime during Supers.
I mean, it would have been 3 months before this is when it
That's
came
when it came out.
Yeah, it came out at Christmas.
But even if you say it takes place a different time than it came out, it has to take place sometime between the last time we saw her in the show and now, so they shouldn't be this surprised to see her. Because they were literally just hanging out with her in the Supers movie.
Yeah.
They were like getting ice cream at one point or something like that.
Yeah. I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the fact that Setsuna just murdered a bunch of monsters while also holding a baby.
She's the ultimate multitasking mom.
Yeah. She's on some Lone Wolf and Cub shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for the moment, here's the thing. Listen, Chris, you're going to be mad at me when I say this. I've never read Lone Wolf and Cub. Well,
have you ever seen the movie Shogun Assassin 2 Lightning Swords of Death?
No.
Okay, we should.
But
it has the best title any movie's ever had.
But I am assuming that he had pretty good reasons to have a baby when he was fighting.
Well, in that everyone else was dead, yes.
So that's a pretty good reason.
Uh-huh.
On the other hand, Pluto seems to have just been like, let me go get this baby and bring it to a fight.
Yeah, if she goes to get the baby, then she shows up and there is a fight happening. Don't act like she got the baby and picked a fight.
She could have just let whatever happened happen. No, but I'm joking.
No,
I don't know, man.
I will say this with regards to the timing of the movie and the new season. These don't look like the new transformation sequences.
No, I don't think they are.
Yeah, because we got new transformation sequences for Uranus and Neptune.
Like wholly new ones.
Really, really beautiful ones, too.
But I'm saying they weren't just like redone animation of the same thing. It was different animation, right?
Yeah, I if memory serves. I feel like if we're both remembering it, then I'm right, but
I think that's true. But no, these are the old transformations.
Yeah, these are.
But okay. No, I'm upset at Pluto because she just puts the baby down and is like, I gotta go do some fighting. Baby, you just lie here.
Ew, don't move.
Yeah,
don't
like you do with your baby when it's time to fight, Jordan.
Well, last time I was on a rooftop in a fight, I did not leave the baby on the edge of the roof.
Well, what, are you going to try and swing the baby at the bad guys? What are you talking about?
Well, basically, I've never gotten myself in a fight with a baby present.
Really?
Or without, now that I think about it.
I think the baby could probably take you.
Oh, you want me to fight with my baby in that sense?
You just said a baby was present. You did not list whose side it was on.
The babies are innocent, so they are, they don't take sides.
And you, like the Punisher, only pursue the guilty.
Yeah. I'm like Venom. I protect the innocent.
Oh, you're a lethal protector.
So bad news. Remember how these glass ladies grew from little tiny shards of glass?
Uh-huh.
Well, guess what? When you smash them, they grow back from those shards of glass.
Yes.
Shockingly.
So Uranus and Neptune transform. All three, I guess all four of the Outer Senshi are there. But three of them get into the fight. And we get some pretty fucking cool fight moves. It's the thing where it's a still picture that is like panned over 3 times in rapid succession. But we get here's the thing I like, and it's the thing I've said that I've always wanted from Sailor Moon. Just hit them. Remember how shocking it was when was it Kunzite who like backhanded Nephrite
I forget.
in his last episode?
I don't remember which one it was, but there was also wasn't there a time when Jupiter just punched somebody too, and it was like, whoa.
Yes. Yeah, and it's always so shocking. And it's like when there's a bunch of very disposable enemies, that's when we get like Michiru throwing a roundhouse kick and like dropping the people's elbow.
Well, hang on. You got to talk about the biggest moment in this still frame fight.
Are you talking about when Setsuna knocks someone's face off?
No, not even close.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Setsuna punches someone's face off.
I'm talking about the part where Haruka smashes somebody's boobs off.
It's an excellent sequence.
It's a knee to the boobs that shatters her breasts.
Absolutely stellar. This is what we waited 5 seasons for. 4 seasons.
Yeah, yep, you are right. Boy, it just cracks him, doesn't it?
Yep.
This is great. And this is honestly a thing where like, why have we been watching a show about the other girls? I like them.
No.
But they are not like kicking anyone to pieces.
Okay, all right. Let's not get crazy. I have said a zillion times over that I want to watch the Uranus and Neptune spinoff, but I'm not saying instead. Obviously, Sailor Moon trumps. And I'll fight you for it.
Okay, sure, whatever, buddy.
Thumb wrestle.
You just said you'd never gotten in a fight.
Let me just put this baby down.
So Haruka falls off is shoved off the roof, and Michiru has to go and grab her, and is like, "You've been eating too many sweets." And Haruka goes, "Save those sweet comments for when we're in bed."
Yes.
Which I would love to know how they dubbed that one.
Ooh,
oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
Oh, I know the answer. They didn't.
They didn't. Yeah.
This has never been translated until just 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Very recently.
So they probably, I assume, in the Viz dub, just said that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Probably so.
This might be the episode where like they were like, Clover was like, should we renew for another season? They were like, we cannot.
I think it had a little bit more to do with what they knew was coming.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my god.
So as you said, Neptune is dangling Uranus from the edge of the building. Pluto has been captured, and they're holding her, and they're stopping her from doing anything. And one of the glass ladies grows giant claws and goes, "I'm gonna kill this baby."
You know, the one you left under a shrubbery at the edge of the balcony.
Yeah.
Thanks, Setsuna.
Well, to be fair, it has white moon energy coming off of it.
What can they do?
So it needs to die.
Gotta get rid of that WME, that white moon energy.
Here's the thing. This is Sailor, which one is it? Saturn, who is secretly the most powerful scout, and so the baby just annihilates everyone present really quickly.
She just consumes all with her baby-like charm.
Yeah, the baby explodes.
Well, the baby gives off a burst of energy. Now, I don't think the baby explodes.
I mean, the baby doesn't explode, but the baby explodes. So
the baby also upgrades the scout. They get like a power boost from her. Oh, and somehow Uranus is not hanging off the building again?
That's the power of white moon energy.
It plants you on your feet. So yeah, now they do their powers again. Oh, by the way, I assumed they're like, we got new powers. And I was thinking new powers meant powers that were different from the old powers. That was wrong.
Incorrect.
They're the same powers, but they're better. Now they work.
Also, the baby exploded into a toddler. And here's my favorite part. And I was getting ready to be so mad at this show. The blanket did expand. I was so worried.
Oh, you were going to be mad if it didn't. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. I was like, this show is not above
You know what? In order to properly swaddle the baby, you need a lot of blanket. Although, no, I'm looking at it now. That's way more blanket than they had before. Never mind. The blanket grew as well. She used her Saturn powers to grow her blanket. And what does she say?
Yeah.
She has a line. She says, change is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I guess it always is. When you think about it.
Damn. And then we see another image of Sailor Moon with her wings in the wrong place. And then we see her getting attacked by vines. Or they're vines, right? Yeah, those are vines.
Yeah, she's getting, once again, crucivined.
Oh, wow. And Saturn says, if this continues, the princess will be in danger. And they're like, what the fuck? And that's how the episode ends.
Yeah.
Pretty justifiably, they are like, what the fuck? And that's it. That's the first episode of Stars.
Yeah, man.
It sure is.
And now it's the time of the show where we talk about what we've learned from this episode. It's time for Sailor Business Says. And Audrey, we will start with you. What did you learn?
I personally learned that it is indeed possible to borrow a baby, but if she grows up, then you can't return her and you just have to keep her.
Yeah, that baby's no good anymore. You got to keep it.
Yeah, you grow her, you buy her.
The tags are off.
Exactly.
No receipt on that tween. Jordan, what did you learn?
Oh, gee whiz. I mean, I unfortunately learned that you can get married in Japan at 16. I learned the proper ceremony for sending a child back to the future. Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention that she didn't go back to the future.
Right.
When the glass went in Mamo's eye, all of a sudden her future beam cut off. And that's when I was mad because I was like, it was fucking sitting there for 50 years. Anyway, so Chibi has to stay. Sorry. Anyway, what'd you learn, Chris?
I learned that it's always good to have a friend to take makeup tests with.
Yeah.
I gotta say, strong start to Stars.
It is. And well, this was a weird episode because again, Sailor Moon is not in it.
Yeah, like it's very weird to launch a new season, and I mean, what they are billing as a new series, like it's obviously not. It's obviously episode 167 of Sailor Moon, but you know, first episode of a new season, new theme song, new this, new that, and it's very much like we don't see Sailor Moon. There's no indication. I guess there is kind of an indication because we get Hotaru's dreams that are clearly Usagi, but
you see her there.
Like, there's no indication that Usagi is anything other than a brand new high school student in this episode.
I feel like if we did a Spider-Man #1 comic and Spider-Man wasn't in it, people would be kind of pissed.
Buddy, I have read #1 comics where the character wasn't in it, and I have been pissed. So
yeah. So that's weird, but it was still good. That's the thing, because again, as we've said, Uranus and Neptune are great and could have carried their own spinoff and should have carried their own spinoff and still could. It's not too late.
Make it happen.
But yeah, so they're still great. So it carries it. And it's crazy to me how much more I liked this episode than the last however many episodes of last season, which have the same villain in them.
Yeah. Well, but you know what it didn't have? It didn't have any of that villain's henchmen who were bad.
No, you liked them.
No.
The quartet?
Yeah, I wasn't super huge on the quartet.
Oh, for some reason I thought you'd like them.
They were fine. They could have been good. The trio were fucked from Jump Street.
They were trying, but they couldn't pull it off.
Yuck.
Anyway, yeah, it's a good start. Very good start.
Audrey, any final thoughts on this episode?
Such a strong beginning. I'm so happy to see Haruka and Michiru back after so long.
Same. They are very good.
Yeah. I'm sure this episode was many Japanese teens like lesbian awakening, because like that's gorgeous.
I mean, from our experience, it seems like even in America where they were only cousins, It was plenty of American people's
Yes.
awakening as well. So
Yeah, and it's very strong season opener, and especially like they commit to like the new music and everything. It's like you know what, we're rebranded. We're new now.
Yeah, it is
pretty sweet.
It is a soft reboot.
Yes.
But I am like we do. It's so weird that they like. I mean, spoiler warning going ahead, but like we're gonna get some outfit changes that are like the laziest way of rebooting this show. But yes, that is the first episode of Stars. I'm excited. I am really looking forward to getting through this. I've heard it gets weird, so I hope it is weird in a way that I like.